Hello guys, I was coming to you today. I was going to make a video on putting a bypass switch in on my second awning on my Jayco 2021 northpoint 377 RLBH. These things have a known node failure to where the awning stops working on the second awning. Well, I was going to come out here today, show you guys how I troubleshot it, figured it out by swapping the wires from my first awning to my second awning. And I get out here today and my first awning won't even go out. So I went to checking it, and that node, that section of the node has failed too. It won't extend. So what I ended up having to do, I checked it for voltage. I'm getting no voltage to the wire on the extend part, but whenever I hit retract, I do get power. So I swap my wires around, it will extend out. I swap my wires back, and it will retract in. So I know the motor's good, it's reversing right. Like I said, I put a multimeter on it. There's no power coming out of that node part for the for the front awning or the rear awning for the extend part. So now I'm gonna have to put in two bypass switches. I end up getting the link off of our northpoint page off Facebook. Carl Line provided one. I'll see if I can get it for the switches. It's an auto reversing switch, so you don't have to do all the diodes and stuff like that of wiring it back in. I'm just going to pull the wires out of the node, run them to the switch, and run me power back to a circuit breaker in the battery compartment along with the ground up there. And I'm going to do this until I can get a hold of BM Pro. And my unit's out of warranty. It's been out of warranty, but this is ridiculous. Having these nodes fail like this. I know I'm not the only one. Like I said, if you get on the Facebook groups, it's a pretty known fact that the BM Pro does fail. So let me flip back in here. I'll show you what I did as far as voltage goes. I'll show you where I checked it. I can't video and work the app from my phone at the same time, so I can just talk you through what you should be getting and let you know how to troubleshoot it yourself. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and make this a step-by-step as how I went ahead and put two switches in and bypassed my my node altogether, and put my extend and retract awning on switches here in the underneath in the bay. So I got a multimeter out. I've got it grounded right up here on one of the tabs that holds the wall together. I just stuck it in there for a ground. Here's my red probe. Alright, this right here is your extend on your BM Pro, the top one for the first awning. If you put the meter in here and you hit extend with your phone, you should get 13 volts. Well, I'm not getting that. Or 12 battery voltage is what you should get when it's moving the motor out. I can put it right here and it will work. It'll hit when you hit the retract. This one comes on and gets hot. All right, for the rear awning, you hit this right here, the third one down, doesn't power up. The fourth one down is the retract. You hit it, it does get the 13 volts on the meter. So what I ended up doing was, just to see, I ended up taking my extend wire. I'm sorry for the videoing, guys. I took my extend wire, my red wire out of here for the extend, and I ended up putting it down here on the retract of the second awning. So when I hit retract, it would send my first awning out, and then when I hit retract on the second awning, it would pull it back in. Alright guys, so what I've done, I pulled my top two wires off of my node. Doesn't work, doing away with it anyway. I pulled the wires back out of the harness, and I ran them up behind this wall. I brought them out right up there at the top. What I plan on doing is taking this switch right here. I got a retract extend switch. I'll provide the link for it. Like I said, the Carl Lines on the Facebook group turned me on to this, and it's a reversing switch. So all you have to do is run a power and a ground, the red and the black, and then take your two blues here, hook them in up here to the two wires that come off the node that go to your awning, and you should be able to run your awning. Now what I'm going to do right now is pretty much of the stuff's done on my back in the bay. Where these wires come up, there's a wire loom that comes across here, goes in here, goes back here to this panel on the front side of the RV. What I've done, I pulled this loose, separated it from these screws here and a couple across the bottom. And guys, you have to excuse my mess. I was planning on going camping when I figured out this awning wasn't working, so I had to unload everything. All right, so I just pulled this rope wire back, the wall back. You can see I got some fish tape right here where all the hoses and the hydraulic hoses and some of the wiring goes through to the front compartment right here. They siliconed. I just took the silicone, I just pulled my finger back till I found where it went in beside the hydraulic hoses, and then I run this fish tape through, and I come around to the front side up here where the fish tape come all the way through right up by your hydraulic pump with your hoses, and I've tied my power and my ground, and I'm going to pull it back through. But I'm going to run it over here to this circuit breaker, resetting circuit breaker sub panel over here I found behind this. There was a panel here on the side. I done pulled it out. The far left one says it's for a wind guard, which I've got the wind guard system up on top. It powers that. I don't use that. It's a 10 amp resetting circuit breaker. So for the time being, because I'm set to go camping tomorrow morning, I'm going to pull off the side right there on this 10 amp resetting circuit breaker, and that's where I'm going to provide my power. And then I'm going to run my ground over here to the chassis ground, and I'm going to tie it in right there. And that's going to give me my power and my ground. And the switches that we got off of Amazon, they're 30 amp rated, and they are resetting switches too. So I don't need a relay. I'm just going to run it through the switch, and it's going to hopefully extend and retract the awning in and out, so I can bypass the node for now till I can see about getting something done about that. Alright guys, I got an outlet terminal, and I disconnected the wind guard and I hooked it on the 10 amp resetting circuit breaker. I did run the ground over here to the chassis. I did hook it up, and I ran it through the loom back in through the wall like I showed you previously. My phone died, so I had to keep working so I can get this job done. So I'm going to kind of try to recap this for you. Like I said, excuse the mess, please. So what I've done was, I ended up pulling my red and black wires, like I said, through the loom. You can't even tell that they're not even supposed to be there. I dropped them over the wall right here and tucked them down. Now I came over here to my node, and I pulled the top two wires out. That's your extend and retract on your node. Like I said, the retract still works. There's no sense in trying to work this thing off of the app and a rocker switch. So I disconnected them both, and I pulled those wires out of the tape that comes through here, and they were long enough. Just these wires right here, I was able to extend them up behind this panel, and I came out over the top. Here they are, and I hooked in my power and my ground from up front. I made me this panel out of conduit. I didn't have nothing to do to work with today, so I found a conduit cap, conduit box cap. So I took that and I cut me 2 holes in it for my rocker switch. For today, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to mount that right here. But as you can see, it's got retract and extend. And this is my front awning. When I hit extend, and then I hit retract. And yes, I need to grease the awning arms. But for now, like I said, once I mount this here, it's good to go. And if Jayco doesn't want to help with the BM Pro, then this may become permanent. I'll clean this up, get me a better piece of sheet metal, and make that look better. And then I got the other hole cut for the second awning. So what I'm going to do to that is, since I've already got the power and the ground up here, I just want to make sure everything worked. I'm going to pull these off, disconnect them, cut them loose right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other set of wires that I have for the second switch, Sorry about that. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna run both of those off to here. I'm not gonna use both switches at the same time. I'm not gonna run both awnings out at the same time. I don't know anybody that would. But so this way I don't have to run double power wires and double grounds. I hook up to this, I'll run them into here. I'm gonna go back down to here. I'm gonna pull those two wires off of the node, these two right here off the rear node, fish them back up through here, hook them back up on the other two blue wires that's provided on the other rocker switch. And this is what I'm looking at right here. The reverse polarity rocker switch. It came 2 to a pack. Like I said, I will provide the link for both of those. They're $13, $14, I think, for 2 of them. And it's gonna fix both my awnings. So I'm gonna get back to work and I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, last I had these 2 terminals right here. They say awning 2, which is the rear awning, which is the original one giving me problems before I started today. Took those wires, pulled them out. That's this set of wires right here. Ran those up to the back. Sorry, I'm gonna lay on my back and do this. This is up in the basically the floors in the top of the attic. Like I said, I jumped the power over from one power wire from up front, one ground wire from up front. This right here is the this is the 2 wires that go to your awning, go to your the blue ones I used. They go to the wires I pulled off the BM Pro. It's these red and black down here. This one and this one. This is the front and rear awning off the BM Pro. I did away with it. I ended up making the switch. When I get back from my trip, I'm gonna get me a piece of sheet metal, clean this up. Like I said, this is just a lid off of a conduit box that I had laying around. But as you can see, I got the extend retract, and this is my front awning. It extends, which, like I said, it worked when I come out here to make this video for the back one, and then all of a sudden it just quit working. So pulled all the way back in. Here's the rear one that hasn't worked in over a year. My son riding his bike in the driveway. It extends and retracts off the switch. So that, like I said, it's not 100% professional, but it does let me have use of my awnings until I can get the BM Pro issue resolved. I'm not paying $1,000 for a node for two awnings that don't work. Now, if my slides start going out, then I'm gonna have to look into that. But these node failures shouldn't be happening like this. Like I said, this will get you out of a bind. Happy camping.